So I haven't made any cardboard box church healing videos lately because I've been really busy getting settled here in Tennessee, and plus it's been very cold out. But it doesn't mean I haven't been ministering. I've been ministering wherever I go, at least when I'm not thinking about myself. Now, before I talk to you about some situations that I was in, I want to mention go visit cardboardboxchurch.com because I got 2 upcoming meetings that I'm doing. February 15th, which is a Friday night, and February 17th, which is a Sunday. The 15th is in Ohio, the 17th is in Wisconsin. It's on the website on the home page with the address and the time of both those locations. So you're welcome to come out to either one of those meetings. Now, most of the situations that occur are not on video, and so there's just been a lot going on. So, you know, when I don't get the chance to do Cardboard Box Church, I do get a little antsy. So I'm more interested in doing marketplace ministry when I'm out and about. And often the Holy Spirit will have to remind me to stop thinking about myself. When you're thinking about yourself, you're not going to get into situations. When you make yourself available and say, Lord, I'm ready, I'm available to help whoever needs a touch from you, then you'll find yourself in situations because you have the right mindset. Because the Lord is faithful to take care of you. You don't need to worry about yourself and your things. The Lord will take care of all your stuff if you take care of His stuff. All right? And so let me give you a couple of situations that occurred recently, just to make that point of making yourself available in the way I went about doing these things. And so I was in a Walmart nearby, and I look for an item that is not there, and I start walking out of the store, and I pray, oh Lord, forgive me for thinking about myself. I make myself available, and within 20 seconds after praying that quick prayer, I see a Walmart employee walking towards me limping. And I stop her name is Kim, pray for her knee and her hands. The pain goes away, she's very intrigued. And then she tells me where I can get that item that I was looking for. So I basically went in there to minister to her. So I leave, I get in the car, and I call up the store that she told me about. It's like 7 miles down the road. And I'm talking to a guy named Jonathan who says, yeah, we got that, come on in. And right before hanging up with him, I feel the power of God, but I didn't say nothing to him. I just took note of it. So I get in there, I get the item, and then I didn't see him, so I'm walking around the store a little bit, hoping to bump into him, and all of a sudden he comes out of the back room. I see his name tag, Jonathan, and I tell him, hey, it's me, I'm the one that just talked to you on the phone about this item right here. He goes, oh, great. And I said, you know what, I want to talk to you real quick before I leave. I'm a minister, and when I was talking to you on the phone, I felt the power of God. And a big smile came on his face, and he said, I'm a youth minister, and I appreciate that. I needed to hear that. Thank you. And so it was an encouragement for him. I mean, he didn't need prayer for healing, but that was a big encouragement for him. He needed to hear that. And so then I prayed for him also to get results healing the sick, and the power of God came upon him, and another big smile came on his face. So it was a divine appointment, even though it wasn't any major healing situation. And then I'm in a McDonald's. I go to a McDonald's drive-thru. Don't tell Ahava I was eating at McDonald's. I go through the drive-thru, and a young man at the window, he takes my money, and I can tell that he doesn't really feel good about himself. And so when somebody's not feeling good about himself, that person, it could just be that person is, that person could come across as being mean or not friendly, whatever. And so I just took note of that. I didn't say anything to him. I wish I had. So I drive around the building with my food, and I sit and eat, and I'm praying, Lord, I'm sorry that I didn't say nothing to that young man to encourage him. And that was it. So I eat my food, and like 10 minutes later, I decide to get rid of the garbage. So I get out of my car, and there's no outside garbage can at this McDonald's, so I go inside, and lo and behold, as soon as I go in the door, this kid's walking past me. So I got the opportunity to encourage him, and he was very grateful. So the Lord caused him to cross my path that moment when I went inside, confirming that yes, he did need an encouraging word because of not feeling good about himself. And so it's like some people think that they're not big deals, but they are big deals. This is what every Christian should be doing on a regular basis. communicating with people. Most people walk around with their head in their phone, not talking to others, but that has got to end in this world. The body of Christ has got to rise up, and start interacting with people in the marketplace. Then I'm driving, and this is over the course of a couple days. I'm driving, and I need to go to a Lowe's home improvement store, and I get there, and right before turning into the parking lot, I'm praying, Lord, if there's anybody in Lowe's that's feeling low, let me see and let me minister. And you know, that's like, I call those like ley lines. Anybody in Lowe's that's feeling low, you know, when things line up, you know, it's like you use a play on words or whatever, like you're talking to somebody that has the same name as you or whatever, just things that are lining up. It's interesting. It's happened to me many times. I had a dream recently where Tom Seaver, who was a former Mets pitcher, one of the most famous pitchers in Major League history, was pitching to me, and I was batting against him. And my name is Tom, and I'm now living in Seaver County. It's actually pronounced Sevier County, but I now pronounce it Seaver County. And you can actually pronounce it Seaver County based on its spelling if you wanted to. And so those are like ley lines. And so I get into the Lowe's, and as soon as I walk in, I see this Lowe's employee that I stop to talk to him to ask him if they have this item. They don't have the item, but as I'm talking to him, I'm feeling the power of God. I feel the power of the Holy Spirit. And so I asked him if he's got anything wrong, and he says no. And I said, well, I can tell you're a very strong believer because of the way I'm feeling the presence of the Lord. It's like a witness. And he goes, he was very grateful for that, and he is a very strong believer. He's not in the least bit ashamed of Jesus. Started talking to me about Jesus right away, no hesitation, didn't care about anybody else watching. And I said to him, you know, sometimes when you're talking to somebody who is, if you really feel like the Lord wants to do something, and there's nothing wrong with that person, quite often, because that person's a humble person, it may be that that person is feeling the pain of somebody else near that person. You understand? And so I said, is there anybody in your life that's feeling low? And he said, yes, my sister recently lost her husband, and she's going for knee surgery. And so right there, I prayed for his sister. He was very grateful. So it was just another situation, a setup from the Lord. It's amazing. Then I go into a Walmart again, and same Walmart as the other testimony, and I'm looking for something else that's not in the store. And so I leave, and on the way out in the parking lot, I see a young man, an employee of Walmart, gathering carts. And so I stopped talking to him. I stop and I talk to him. And as I'm talking to him about what I do, there's an elderly lady that's standing right near us with a shopping cart in her hand, and she wanted the attention of the employee. So I stopped talking to the employee and I gave her the attention. And it turns out she just wanted him to take the cart so that he can put it in the cart corral thing, whatever, or collect it. And as she was talking to us real quick, I said to her, you need healing in your body. She said, yes, I do. Prayed for her. Right in front of the Walmart employee, and the power of God came upon her, started healing her, pain started going away. She was very grateful, very strong believer. She loved it. And then she leaves, and then I'm talking to this young man whose name is Caleb, and it turns out that he's got pain in his feet, and the pain goes away. I start praying, and I start feeling light on my feet. I said, I can tell you're receiving this. I'm feeling light on my feet. And sure enough, he was feeling light on his feet, and he's testing his heel. The pain left his heel, and he was feeling light on his feet. And it turns out also that he knows people that go to the same church I'm going to. I'm going to a church called Truth Church in Townsend, Tennessee, where Justin and Jordan Strecker are the pastoral leadership of this church, and it meets in a barn. And there's a lot of people in the area that know about the barn church, and so it's a good church. And so this young man was planning on coming to the barn church, the Truth Church, and so now he's much more inclined to come visit because what just happened was real. And so just amazing things that the Lord puts together. Then I'm going into a Home Depot. Now I'm in a lot of these stores because, like I said, I'm just settling into Tennessee, and I got to get this little thing, that little thing. So I'm in a Home Depot. I walk in, and there's a lady. She's got like a little stand set up by the entrance, sometimes they do this where people are like, or selling like services or whatever for Home Depot, and she was doing that. But as I was passing, she said hello and I said hello, and I noticed that she had a scratchy throat. So I stopped and I came back and I said, hey, you got a scratchy throat? You got a sore throat? You feeling sick? And she goes, yeah. She had a very scratchy sore throat, and she was standing on her feet working, and it was very, not just a little. And so I tell her what I do, pray for her. As I'm praying for her, another Home Depot employee walks up, stands right there next to us, looks at what I'm doing, and looks at her for like 5 seconds, hears what I'm doing, and then walks away. I did not flinch for 1 second, neither did she. I just kept on going. She got healed. I feel the power of God, as I said. She got healed, her throat was better, and she starts telling me about how her son is an evangelist, and she wants me to talk to her son on the phone. So I give her ministry card, and I'm talking to her for like 10 minutes. She was very grateful. And so it's amazing. So then I get something in Home Depot, and on the way out, I'm walking next to somebody who's an employee getting off work from Home Depot, and he's walking. You know how like if you're walking to a parking lot, you can be walking like the same pace with somebody, and sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable. You might slow down or speed up or go another direction. Well, I didn't do that. I kept walking the same pace as him, and so did he. So as I'm getting close to my car, I decide I'm going to talk to him. I say, so let me ask you something real quick. I'm a minister, and I feel as if the Lord wants to, is like you believe, but like you're not walking with the Lord. He's calling you back. And he goes to me, I'm not really interested. I said, and he's like talking like that, it's just not really sure what he wants to say, just like kind of like politely trying to get out of the situation. And he was being polite. And so I said to him, I said, don't take somebody else's misrepresentation of Jesus and think that's what Jesus is all about. And he goes to me, when I was younger, I went to a church where it was an all-black church. I think he said it was an all-black church, or maybe he just said that there was a particular youth minister who he liked listening to, who's a good teacher, and it turned out that this black man, he had cheated on his wife. And the leadership of the church ran that man out of the church like on a rail, run him out on a rail, like they made him feel so bad, and then he never returned to church even. He like fell away, and I was like, man, woo! I knew it. I knew something like that was affecting him, and I said, like I said, don't let somebody else's misrepresentation of Jesus drive you away from Jesus. In the end, that's not going to be an excuse, all right? And so I talked to him for a few more minutes, and he was grateful. He goes, I believe in your perspective, not in that perspective. I said, great, that's it then. Then you have a reason. So encouraging him to come back to the Lord. And so that was the last testimony I wanted to share, and probably perhaps the most important one, because it was dealing with somebody whose soul was on the line there. So these are just things that have happened over the course of a couple of days, 2 days. And so it's just making yourself available and thinking about others and not yourself. And so God bless you. And so keep on watching, because I'm gonna make a big cardboard box church. I have plans to make a big one, because Scott Lee's vision, although Cardboard Box Church is very much in line with the vision, there's a couple more details that could really fall in line, because Scott's vision was of a big cardboard box church where people were inside it. And Ahav and I were doing that in the beginning, a big one, and then we decided it was just more effective to minister to people outside of it. So we made it smaller. But I am going to make a bigger one. I'm going to make a really big one. I was planning on making, I just heard a horn, a car horn, when I said that, like a confirmation. That's awesome. I was going to make a 12 by 12, which is like the size of a decent sized bedroom, but I decided, you know what? I'm going crazy. I'm going to make myself a 20 by 24. It's going to be like a small building. It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned.